I've got a question for you guys, and I always like giving people questions that make them think, even if it's something that's most likely not going to happen or completely impossible. It's just getting people to really think and put themselves in a situation. It's one of the reasons I like horror movies so much. I like thinking, what would I do if I was in this person's shoes, in this crazy situation? So here's my question. What would you do if you had the corpse of an alien? The dead body of an extraterrestrial. It got in your house and you shot it thinking it was a burglar. You hit it with the car. You came upon a UFO crash. Whatever the scenario is, what would you do? And real quick, before I get going with my answer, because I'm obviously going to go first, of what I would and would not do. And I've sadly thought about this for many years. Whenever you hear about the government covering up UFOs and alien abduction, and witnesses being threatened and their families threatened, and people dying under mysterious circumstances, and people having their homes ransacked for the evidence the government knows they have, and just all this crazy conspiracy theory stuff that I don't doubt it. I don't believe everything I hear, but I don't doubt it. But in in the world in which the scenario exists, we're going to assume that's all real, because my answers, or what I would do, is based on just assuming that stuff's real. So the government is going to nail you if they find out you've got this thing. So, and now we're going to get going on what I would do first. I'd do what everyone else would do, is I'd get out my phone and start taking detailed pictures and videos of this thing. But I go a step further than that. I would make a private folder on Facebook or on some kind of file storage site or whatever, and then I'd upload it all to there. Not make it public, or with the video stuff, put it on YouTube. Not make it, but make it a private video. Because as I've said, once you finally get nailed with having this thing, the government's going to take your phone. They're going to go through your entire house looking for stuff. So you gotta you need to have these things, safely backed up somewhere. I can't talk today. So after I'd secured the backups of these photos and videos, excuse me, first thing I would not do is call the police. The state and local police are not going to know what to do with the dead body of an alien. Most people wouldn't. So if you let them know, there's going to be two things I can imagine going on. One, they're going to dispose of this thing very discreetly, like they're going to bury it somewhere secret, or they're going to have it cremated or whatever. Everyone involved is going to be told to keep their mouth shut. It's going to get swept under the rug. They're probably going to make some threats to you and your family, and somebody's going to eventually run their mouth though, and it's just going to become a local legend. And who knows if the body will ever be found. And this is a big discovery. This proves we're not alone in the universe. This is the ultimate proof. And it's just going to go goodbye. The second scenario would be they call the government, and they're going to take the alien away. God knows do what with it. You're probably going to take your phone and all and trash your house or whatever. They're going to take everything they can from you involving this. They're going to threaten you and your family and basically tell you, we're going to make you disappear if you leak a word of this. And once again, it will probably become a local legend. The scenario all around is going to be about the same. You're going to lose the corpse. You're going to lose the body. You're going to possibly lose all your evidence. And it's just going to become the thing of a local legend. So contacting any authority people, figures, whatever you want to call it, that's out the window right off the bat, because the goal is to get as many people as possible to see this thing and let them know that, yes, there are alien life forms visiting this planet. With that being said, I would not contact any of the local news either, because what's going to happen is you take this body to the local news station. They're either probably not going to air, or they might get some video and stuff of it, but they're not going to air anything about it. They're probably going to call the police or the military government, and everything I just said was going to happen. That's going to trigger that entire chain of events. So, no. Two, if they did run a news story and used your videos and pictures and used their video and their footage and interview and all that, I would bet just about anything the government would step in and say, make them retract everything and say, this was a hoax, it was a joke, blah, blah, blah. Then you look like a complete jackass. And once again, a lot of people saw this alien, but they think it's fake now. Well, there will be the few diehards that say, no, that the government made him do this. There will be a few of the diehard UFO nuts that would know what was really going on. But either way, that's going to turn out to be bad and a waste of a truly magnificent discovery. But you know what I would do? I would take the dead body of that alien to Walmart. I know that sounds completely insane and stupid, but bear with me, stay with me on this, because I think that's your best bet on what to do with this thing, with the goal being you want to expose the world to the fact that they're here. And it don't have to be just Walmart. It could be a Kroger, a Target, Myers, anything like that. You get the idea. A ginormous or a large shopping center. I would rig up a body bag, probably out of some trash bags. I'm not going to go ask for a real body bag from someone, because this is you got to remember, this is your dirty secret, and it can't get out, or the whole mission's going to be blown. I'd load it in the car, and I'd go to Walmart. Best case scenario, this is best case scenario, you find this thing during the day. Okay, we've got two scenarios. We're going to go into something else, but this is the best case scenario. You get it during the day. Get you a shopping cart, dump this alien that's all wrapped up in trash bags and stuff in it. Get into Walmart, blow past the door greeter, and if they say anything like, I'm returning something or whatever, just get past them. Then after that, there's, in my head, what I think would be the best idea is I would go, I'll tell you what, no, there's three things to do. I just thought of a third one. There's three ways to go, so let's check these out. I don't know which of these would be the best, by the way, but option one is get to the middle of the front of the store. A lot of Walmarts have many businesses in the front. Like one of my closest ones has a salon and a Wood Forest Bank, and some of them, one of them, the one in Carbondale used to have a mini arcade in it, I think, or something. I don't know if any of them still have Subways up at the front. And then there's a set of bathrooms and water fountains and benches that people sit on. That's a pretty busy area. That would be one place to take it. And what I would do once I get it there, I'm going to cover that after this second one, which would be the second place I would take it, would be the aisle or walkway behind, in the center, in that aisle, behind the cash, the checkouts and the cash registers and all that. The center. So basically, instead of being in the front of the checkouts, you're going to be behind it, because that's where all the people's lining up. I don't know which would be better, because that walkway in Walmart's always completely crowded and busy. I mean, it's and you're right there by like the clothes and in some places the jewelry and some of the it's about in the clothes section. So, but that's a busy walkway. That'd be another good place. Anyway, I'd probably just look around and try and see what was the busiest real quick. I would dump this thing on the ground, and I'd unsheath it and get it all out of those trash bags. Like, hey, I've got the dead body of an alien. Quick, get pictures, get videos, And it would cause a stir. It would definitely cause a stir. And people would hopefully start taking pictures and video. People video and take pictures of everything these days, so I'm sure they would. And then a manager. And then, of course, if there's a big commotion, the managers are going to come see what it is. But, and I would try to get out of there with the alien before the cops showed up, or whatever bad might happen. And you got to realize, though, you're not doing anything wrong. You're causing a bit of a disturbance. But when you cause a disturbance, you're usually asked to leave. But if that manager tried to hold me there or make me stay there, or the security, I'd tell him, you're not a cop. You don't have arresting powers. As far as I know, the security officer can't arrest you or hold you there for bringing a dead body of an alien in. I mean, to me, they would have no legal grounds to hold me there. So I'd probably try and get out of there and leave, so I could go to another place and do the same thing. The third Walmart scenario would probably be get a ways past the door greeter and get that thing out of that trash bag, get the body, and then just push around the shopping cart and tell people, hey, look, this is a real dead alien. You better get pictures of it. And just push it all around the store quickly. But the ultimate goal would to be to get out of the store with the alien before the cops or anybody shows up. Because now, after all these people have seen, and I'm not saying it's going to be like hundreds of people, but there's going to be several people see it. It's going to be on security cameras. These people are going to have pictures and videos. they're going to share these pictures and videos on social media. They're going to tell this story. So the videos and pictures of this thing, that's the best way to pretty much assure that they're going to get out, that the evidence is going to get out. Some people are going to think it's fake and all this, but the more witnesses there are, the more credible it is. And I'd try to get out of there, and I'd try to go to the next busiest store. Let's say I was in Marion, Illinois. After I left Walmart, I'd probably go to Target. And I would probably dump that thing out in Target at the front end of the store, because at the front end of that store, there's a Starbucks that's usually busy. That would be the prime place for that. If I went to Kroger in Marion, or Kroger in Harrisburg, I would say the best place to be would be the place behind the checkouts, but behind the cash registers and the checkouts, that aisle like I talked about at Walmart. In Kroger, that's a good place to do that there, or the Starbucks. So yeah, but I'd say right in that walkway, because it's busy. Just about anywhere behind the cash registers is really a busy area where you have to get in line at. That's where I'd dump it off at, and I'd try to get as many places as I could with that thing. But I obviously cannot keep this alien body forever, and I don't know if I would start just keep traveling until I got busted, or try to use my instincts, or use, you know, social media and news to find out if I'm being tracked down by the government or the cops, if they're after me. I'd try my best to figure this out, to try and know for sure how close they are to catching me. You can't get too out of control with it. So what I would do is, whenever I felt like, okay, I started getting a bad feeling that, hey, I'm getting ready to get nailed. I think a lot of people usually know when they're getting ready to get nailed for something. The thing is, I wouldn't be doing anything wrong, but I would take the thing to an emergency room, and hopefully one that doesn't have a security guard, because some ERs you have to get through a security guard before you can even get to registration or whatever it's called. I would take it to an ER, and I'd check it in and be like, hey, my kid or my uncle or whatever isn't feeling too well, and we think he's having shortness of breath and severe chest pains, make it sound like a heart attack. A heart attack will take, that way you're not just hanging out in the ER. That will get the doctor seeing this thing immediately. When you say heart in an ER, everyone else waits. If it's a heart issue, you are number one. You are the number one priority there. And at that point, the jig's up. You know, the doctor's gonna, or the nurses, or whoever's gonna see this thing, and the cops are gonna get called, or security's gonna get called, and then you're just busted. And then that's when all the scenarios we've talked about before happen. You're going to be, you're going to have your evidence taken. They're going to tell you, you know, if you say a word about this, you and your family's going to disappear. Nobody's to know about this. Blah, 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 blah. But hopefully at that point they realize, you know, several people are posting this on social media and sharing it amongst themselves, maybe even on YouTube if somebody got video. It's hopefully starting to spread at this point that more than one person has video and photos of this thing. And the government would have to do, they'd have to tell a lot of people to be quiet. We live in an age where we are constantly under surveillance, and there's going to be security camera footage and surveillance footage where this alien's been in this store or stores, depending on how many places you go to. The word's out. The government's going to have to really cover this, try to cover this up. They're probably going to make you look like a complete jackass in the news and make you say, oh, it was a hoax and all this. Either way, it's not going to end well for you. By the majority of the people, I don't think you're going to get the credit that you deserve for this discovery. It's just going to be, some people's going to believe you, some people's not. A lot of people's going to say it's a hoax. There's going to be, misinformation out there about the whole incident. It's just going to turn into a mess. So, do you really want to sacrifice yourself and your reputation and maybe even your life about how hardcore the government is about covering this thing up for the sake of humanity, just the chance that humanity is going to know? That's because it's still a chance. It's just the chance that humanity is going to know that now we are not alone. So let's say you find this alien body at night, or you acquire this corpse at night. What are you going to do? Well, I would find a 24-hour Walmart or 24-hour store like that and it'd be the same thing, except for where I might dump it out at in the store might be different because Walmart's not quite as busy at night, or maybe I'd take it to a truck stop. Truck stops have a lot of people in and out. That might be a good bet. I'd try to do something. And then I would probably do the ER scenario. I would either do the ER scenario, or I just thought of this, or maybe dump the body somewhere eventually. I'd hate to do that though. I'd really like to keep it and run with this as long as I could, but either way, I mean, it's going to be known that they're going to figure out you're the one that's doing this, so you're going to be screwed either way. I mean, you're not going to run from this. So where would you dump the body at? I don't know. I don't think I would bury this thing. I would leave it somewhere where it would easily be found, like a truck stop shower. You know, some dude or woman. It's just most of the time you see guys in there doing this, but they pay their $10 or however much it is for a shower these days, and they open the door and there's a dead extraterrestrial right there in their shower stall. or if you have the cash to spare, maybe get a hotel room just to leave it in there. I'd like leave it covered up under the blankets. Whenever they realize whoever hadn't checked out yet. They tear the blankets off that thing and they see a dead alien. And there's some hotels that you don't have to have a credit card for; they'll take cash. But you're getting caught no matter what. I mean, pretty much. So it doesn't matter what you use. That's all I'm going to say about it. I would love to hear what you would do with the corpse of an alien. I mean, if you try to hide it yourself and not speak of it, or take it to the taxidermist, or what you do with it, I'd love to hear that. Thanks for putting up with this ridiculous scenario. I hope you got a laugh out of it, and I hope more than that it made you think. Until next time.